If you're a busy mom and you feel like there are just not enough hours in the day for you to get a workout in, you are not alone. That is a very common feeling that most women that I work with talk about. And honestly, it's something that I felt too when I first became a mom. Pre-babies, I was like a super big fitness girly, okay? Like I loved going to the gym. I loved spending 60 plus minutes there and just like luxuriating in my routines and my self-care. And then I had a baby. And also I was working full time. And also I had a life and friends and things that I wanted to do. And somehow fitness became the thing that just kept dropping down the list of things to do. And suddenly I was way out of my routines and I just wasn't feeling good in my body, didn't have a lot of energy, just like things were not good. So I scoured the internet for all sorts of research about everything from time management and productivity to effectiveness of different types of workouts and how you can do things in shorter periods of time that will have the same or similar effects like super long workouts. And I feel like I've mastered this to a degree. And so I want to make a video telling you exactly how I make time to work out as a full-time working mom who also has a life, who also runs a business on the side and has a very packed schedule. And I do this without sacrificing time with my family. And that to me is key. Finding a way to make this a sustainable part of your lifestyle without sacrificing quality family time is so, so important. So let's talk about exactly how we do it. I don't know about you, but for me, I work decently long hours. I work in finance, and that's not exactly a forgiving industry. And I also have a business of my own that I'm growing. My WellMamas app, it's a wellness app for moms. If you want to check it out, you can. It's free for the first 7 days. On top of that, I also am a wife and a mother and a daughter and a friend. I go to church. I'm in a book club. Like I have a lot going on, and I'm not complaining. I love that my life is full and there's so many people in it that matter to me that I want to spend time with. But it does make it sometimes difficult to prioritize things that feel like they're just for you. It's like health, wellness, fitness, etc. I know for me, it was really easy to feel guilty in the beginning when I tried to prioritize those things. When I tried to make time to work out or go for a walk or get a massage or something like that, it made me feel some weird version of guilty because it felt selfish. Somewhere along the way, our culture has told us that as moms, we have to put ourselves last. Like we are supposed to be lowest on the priority list because we have all of these other things and people to take care of. And we've kind of adopted that, at least I had in the beginning. Like this is my act of service as a mother, is to put myself last. But as I got a little bit further into my motherhood journey, I realized just how backwards that thinking is. If you're stuck in that pattern of thinking that, well, I'm the mom, so I have to come last, I think that's an inaccurate view of motherhood and an inaccurate view of what it means to take care of your family. So the first mindset shift that I had to make in order to make this a more realistic part of my life is this idea of progress over perfection. I'm sure you've heard that phrase a million times, but I was very much stuck in the world of thinking that fitness had to look a certain way. Fitness and wellness had to look a certain way. It had to be 60-minute workouts at a gym. It had to be super intense meal planning with boiled chicken and rice. It had to be 6 times a week. Like there was not a lot of wiggle room in my idea of what a good fitness routine looked like. And when that was no longer a reality that I could step into because I just knew it wasn't going to fit into my schedule, I had to really rethink the purpose of fitness was and what the benefits of fitness could be. Did I really believe that a 60-minute workout was better than no workout at all? Like, did I believe that those were your only two options? Or did I believe that there was a continuum and there was a middle ground and there was a third option that's like shorter, still effective, less frequent possibly, but still important workouts that you could build as part of your fitness routine that could still move you towards your goals? I became a personal trainer and a pre and postnatal specialist. I learned a lot about this, just the efficacy of different types of workouts. It just opened my eyes to the fact that fitness isn't a one size fits all. It looks different for different people, and you can get a lot of benefits out of a workout routine that doesn't look like what it looked like when you were single. What's true is that a 10-minute workout is much better than no workout at all. And 10-minute increments will build up over time. Yes, it's different than getting a 60-minute session in, but if you're smart and strategic about how you're spending that 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever you can find, you are still very likely going to see results and still be moving in the direction of your health and wellness goals. So this idea of all or nothing, it's got to be a whole big thing or we can't do it at all, is just silly and it's holding us back from progress. The second thing is that fitness and wellness is not just a form of selfish self-care. It's actually a form of serving your family. And let me explain that. When I am in a good routine with my health and wellness, when I'm eating well, when I'm moving my body, when I'm getting as much rest as I theoretically can as a mom of a toddler who doesn't sleep, I am a better mom. I am a more present mom. I have more energy to chase her around and keep up with her. My emotions are more regulated. I'm just a better version of myself for her. I'm also a better version of myself for my husband, for my company, for my friends. Like I show up better in the world for myself and the people around me. So I had to stop thinking about fitness as this thing that I was doing just for me. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, of course, I personally am getting benefits from this, but those benefits significantly impact the people around me, primarily my child and my husband. So as soon as you can stop thinking about it as this selfish thing that gets moved down the to-do list, as soon as you have other things that feel like they're more important, it makes it that much easier to prioritize because you realize you're not just doing it for you. You are doing it for them. And so it should have a higher place on that to-do list because it's something everybody benefits from. So those are the two mindset shifts that I made. But let's talk about the really practical steps that you can take to actually make fitness a regular part of your routine. Number one, and this is obvious, you got to do short workouts. You probably don't have 60 minutes in your day to get a workout in, maybe not even 45. So you got to do short workouts and be okay with it. 10, 15, 20, 30-minute workouts are all wonderful. All that workouts that I program for the moms that I work with or the moms that use my app are 30 minutes or less because I really don't think you need more than that. As long as I said earlier, you're being smart and strategic about the type of workout that you're doing, I think small windows of time is perfectly fine. It's still effective. It's still important. Like it still gets you to where you want to go. Now, my personal belief is that strength training is the best way to do this. Okay. I know that the temptation, at least this was for me, is like, okay, if I only have 10 minutes, I need to do something insane. I need to do this super hardcore HIIT Tabata workout where I'm going to be left dying on the floor. I don't really think that's true. There's a time and a place for that kind of workout. But I think when we're talking about a regular routine, I really believe that strength training is the most effective form of working out for women that has the most degree of benefits and will allow you to see physical changes in your body if you're doing it with regularity. My caveat to this is that I do think you need to be following a plan. You can't just like pick up dumbbells and do random stuff all the time and expect that to work. Following a plan so that you can be consistent with the types of moves that you're doing, which will allow you to focus on progressive overload. So building more strength with the same moves over time. That's how you build muscle. That's how you see change. So we can talk more about that in a different video, but I do think it's important if you're going to do short pockets of working out, they need to be under the same umbrella of like a strategic plan set out for you for women. Okay, the next thing is incorporating movement in the other areas of your day. So this is the idea of something called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT. This is the concept that you're burning calories all throughout the day when you're doing non-exercise activities. As a mom, you better believe you're burning calories chasing your kids around, doing the laundry, getting people in and out of car seats. That burns so many calories, I'm convinced of it. There's so much that you're doing throughout the day that's movement and activity. It's just not technically exercise. Well, all of those things add up. All of those things count as movement. It counts as calorie burn. So the more you can increase those things, and let's say you're getting groceries out of the car, instead of trying to be the hero that gets every single bag in the first trip, which believe me, I have a source of pride about this, like I do that too. If you take multiple trips back and forth to the car, well, that's more steps, that's more movement, that's more calories burned. There's little ways you can do this throughout your day. And I think it's kind of fun to sort of make it a game with yourself. Like, how can I do the max amount of movement as I'm just getting my stuff done, getting my to-do list done? And over time, that stuff really adds up. It's a very significant part of your overall caloric burn throughout the day or caloric expenditure throughout the day, which ultimately impacts your body weight. And if you, like me, work a desk job or a sedentary job, this is key. You've heard sitting is the new cancer. It's so bad for us to be sitting in front of a computer all day long. And Lord knows I do this. I have a standing desk that I never use because I'm very frequently just stuck in my little world of spreadsheets and email, and I forget to move. So something that's been working really well for me is setting a little timer. Honestly, my Oura Ring and sometimes my Apple Watch too will also send me a little notification that's like, hey, time to stretch your legs. And I'm always like, yeah, probably so. And so I'll get up and just do a stretch session at my desk or take a walk around the room or, like go get a coffee, little things that you can do to just keep moving throughout the day. I recently read a really interesting study that was talking about the difference between people that move a little bit, so let's say a couple minutes each hour of the day versus someone who's sedentary all day, but then has a full hour of like intense workout. And actually, your overall health is more benefited by a few minutes each hour of the day than a really intense workout with a sedentary day that follows. So I thought that was really interesting and kind of encouraging for someone who doesn't have time to do a 60-minute workout in the mornings. If I'm moving 2-3 minutes every hour, that's better for me than if I did the crazy intense workout and then sat all day long. The last thing I'll say on moving throughout the day is movement after meals is so good for you. It regulates your blood sugar. It's really good for relieving stress and helping your hormones come back into balance. Movement after meals is amazing. We've tried to incorporate after dinner walks as a family because it's good for us. It helps kill time before bedtime and it's great for our bodies. It's great for our dog. But things like that are so important and such easy routines to make a part of your lifestyle that will be really impactful to your overall health and wellness. Next up is a focus on maximizing your weekend. Now, I know this can be difficult because sometimes your kids have sports and you've got a million errands you want to run that you weren't able to do throughout the week because you're working full time and yada, yada. But if there's ways that you can maximize the time that you do have in the weekend as something that helps support your health and wellness goals, that can really help counterbalance the fact that you don't have as much time Monday through Friday. If you have a little bit more flexibility on your Saturday and Sunday, then you can do a slightly longer session and you will get a lot of benefits from that. Maybe you can pop into a yoga class or a Pilates class, or you can just do a 20-minute workout instead of a 10-minute workout. Like, you just have a little bit more flexibility. So I would strongly encourage you to utilize that and use that as a tool in your larger tool belt of your overall approach to health and wellness. Another great thing to do on the weekends is something that's a little bit more family focused. So maybe everyone could go on a bike ride, or you can all go on a hike, or we live near a lake, so we love to go for a walk around the lake. There's little playgrounds scattered throughout, and so our daughter can play and we can just kind of like bop around, and it's a nice way to spend time together as a family and enjoy the weather and get some vitamin D in and all of that good stuff, while also getting movement in for longer chunks of time. So don't neglect the weekends. I know sometimes weekends feel like you need to totally rest and chill out and vibe because you've been stressed all week long. But as a reminder, movement is a part of self-care and it is a part of rest in a weird way. So I would highly encourage you to try to prioritize it where you can. Number 4, and I kind of just touched on this, but is a family inclusive workout. So like I said, a bike ride or a hike, sometimes you can just hang out in the backyard and make a game out of things. Build an obstacle course, or take the kids to the park and let them run around while you walk in circles or do some bodyweight squats. The moms aren't going to judge you, and if they are, who cares? You don't need them. To the extent that you can include your children, that helps model great behavior for them and helps them learn the importance of treating your body well and treating your body with respect. And it's also fun. Do a family dance party. Make it fun. Now, some time-saving tips specifically: follow a plan. Set a plan for your week of what it's going to look like. The one thing about fitness is that because it is that thing that so easily gets dropped down the to-do list, if it isn't planned for, if you don't have it in your calendar or know in your mind exactly when you're going to do it, you're probably not going to do it. So make a commitment to yourself and set that schedule ahead of time of like, okay, Tuesday mornings, I have to be in the office a little bit later, so I can get a workout in on Tuesday mornings. And then on Wednesdays, that's just not possible for me because we have dance and we have school and we have this. So like Wednesday's a no day, but maybe after work on Thursdays, we do a long walk as a family. Build out your schedule the way that works for your specific priorities and your specific responsibilities, and then try to stick to it the best you can. Obviously, there's grace. Obviously, motherhood is crazy and things happen and you have to like be flexible and pivot. But to the extent that you can build a plan out in advance and try to stick to it, that will help you stay on track much better than just hoping that you find time during the day. Another great time-saving tip is to take out the moment where you're like, okay, it's time to work out. What am I going to do? And then you get on YouTube and you're like, 10-minute lower body workout. Like, it takes so much time if you don't already have it set up. I love following a plan. That's why part of the reason I created my app is because I wanted to have more accessible at-home workout plans for moms who are in this same stage of life to just take the guesswork out of it. I don't want you to have to do the mental load of what workout should I be doing today. We set the plan for you so it takes that mental load out, and all you have to do is be like, okay, this is my window. I'm getting dressed, my tennis shoes are on, open the app, bam, let's go. So whether it's my plan or a different one, just follow a plan to take the mental thought out of what am I going to do today? Last time-saving hack: invest in your at-home gear. If you are really hell-bent on being a gym girly and going to a gym, and if that has some form of its own self-care for you because maybe they have a nice sauna or a spa or whatever, do you, girl. If, like me, that is just not realistic for you and that 15 minutes it would take you to drive and park and check in and whatever is not worth it, invest in some at-home gear. I'll link some of my favorites below. I personally believe that you really just need a set of dumbbells or two. I got adjustable dumbbells so that I can get multiple different versions of weight out of the same set of dumbbells. You can also just get a couple different pairs, a lighter set, a heavier set, maybe something in the middle. And then mini bands. I'm a huge believer in resistance bands. If you do follow any of my workouts or get my app, you will see mini bands are in there a lot because they're $7 and they're so effective in adding resistance, especially if you're a beginner. I think if you have those two things, you have all that you need. If you want like some bonus stuff, I would definitely say maybe a walking pad. If you work from home, a walking pad is amazing because you can work while getting your steps in. It's the perfect way to kill two birds. I recently got a walking pad. I'll link that below too. And I will literally get 7,000 to 8,000 steps in the first hour of my day because that's my time that I just clear my inbox and I'm drinking my coffee. It's a very cozy version of cardio and it's amazing. So highly recommend investing in that if you can or if you want to. But again, dumbbells, mini bands, I don't think you need a lot more than that. But investing in at-home gear just saves you time because you're not having to drive to a gym. You can do it from your garage. You can do it from your playroom. You can do it from your backyard. It's so obvious, but it makes your life so much easier when you're trying to make this a regular part of your routine. If it's any encouragement to you, after I had my daughter and I figured out how to make this work for me after going back to work full time, I lost 45 pounds in my postpartum journey, all from home, doing the workouts that I plan in WellMamas, using just dumbbells and mini bands in like 30 minutes or less. And I was only working out 4 times a week with step counts on the other days, which is, again, exactly what I program in the app. So just know it is possible. If you want to know more about that journey, I'll link the video that I share my 45-pound weight loss postpartum journey with you. But my point is, it is possible. You can do this from home. You just got to get a little creative with how you're going to make this work as part of your very busy schedule. And you need to shift your mindset to remember that this isn't something you're just doing for you. It's not some sort of shallow pursuit to have some dream body. It's something you're doing so that you can be the best version of yourself for you and for the people in your life, in your family, in your circle. If you like this kind of realistic wellness in the context of the insanity of motherhood content, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel. It's new, but it's growing, and I'd love to meet you. So comment down below, tell me about yourself, your fitness journey, your kids, how old are they, all the things. Also, if you can like this video, that would really help me out because the algorithm is confusing and I would appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.